Hello and welcome to ILexec, the podcast series of Advanced Robotics where we explore the latest in robotics in the field of intralogistics. I am your host, Sándor Mester, marketingkommunicaciós lead of Advanced Robotics, and today I am joined by János Kazi, who is my colleague in Advanced Robotics as a key account manager, and he will be our co-host. So we together very welcome Yanina Yustinovich to the show. Yanina is an EU account manager of Hai Robotics. Yanina, we are so glad to have you with us today.
Likewise. It's my pleasure to join such an interesting discussion about robotics and intralogistics.
Are you glad too, János?
Of course, it's my pleasure to join to you guys.
As Yanina mentioned, we will be talking about robotics, but you were not that glad, as you said.
I'm very glad. It's always a pleasure talking about robotics.
First, we will be talking about you. What do you think?
Even better.
Your story is interesting. As we heard, you finished your studies in China, yeah? In
East China Normal University in Shanghai. It's a pretty famous one. So if any Chinese people gonna hear this podcast, they're gonna know it.
And how come that you from Europe earned your degree in China?
It's a very long story related to my family, but I was influenced by Asian culture from my childhood. So basically my parents are from Europe, but I was born in the Asian part of Soviet Union. And I travel a lot around Asia to China, Japan, and I think Japan changed my mind completely. I realized that I really love Asia and I would like to live there for long. And if you're asking me why you get your degree there and why I keep living there, it's because China is definitely a center of innovations currently. No matter if we're talking about robotics or AI, all comes from China.
It's a little bit different from the European approach. What do you think, János?
Yeah, I think that's right. And Yanina just mentioned the technology. And right now, really, China can offer state-of-art technology in any sense, just like for Hai Robotics. Just within Hai Robotics, if I remember correctly, there are more than 1,000 engineers who is working in the same building. If I compare it for a European producer, or just like in a Hungarian market. In all Hungary, we have 1,500 solution engineer who is working in the whole country.
But listen, in the Western part of the world, we have a different narrative, a different story what we are telling. We say that we are the center, we are the innovators.
Yeah, and it was like that back then till the beginning of this millennia. But after that, everything has changed because, we were the inventors back then. And maybe Chinese companies started to copying. But right now, in this intralogistic, and especially for the automation, it's not true anymore. They are the inventors because they have more resources to do that. And I think they are making a wonderful job in case of the technology.
We shouldn't go too fast in your story. How did you get to Hai Robotics?
May I add something to János' speech? Yeah. I have a proof for that because last year China got the biggest number of patents for inventors in robotics industry. The second one is US. So I don't know why Europe thinks that they are center of innovation. I mean, no offense.
No, I said Western culture or Western world.
Yeah. So it's basically China and US. And in robotics, China is number one right now.
Mm-hmm. Back to Hai Robotics.
Hai Robotics. Yeah, I've been working in robotics already. Not in intralogistics, but a different kind of robotics. But I realized that it's the best industry to work in recently. It's very fast growing, and I see that according to all the reports, logistic robots have the biggest penetration rate right after industrial robots. It's the most fast growing sector in robotics, so that's why I joined. And to be honest, Hai Robotics found me and asked me to join, and it was a great decision.
You were hunted down?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I've been managing the overseas markets in another robotic company. It's a public one, a bit smaller than Hai, and they are doing inspection robotics, which was super exciting job because I went down to the metro, I went to the electricity bus station. It was a great experience. And then, Hai basically found me and asked me to join. And it was a great decision because Hai grows dramatically. In 2020, they got 300 employees In 2022 already exceed 1,000. Currently it's more than 2,000 employees. Company from the small startup quickly turned out to be a startup unicorn. And currently the market capitalization of Hai exceed $2 billion.
We will be jumping from your private life to your professional life. You are in China more, as far as the time is concerned, in a year than in Europe? Or how do you share your time between these two geographic regions?
Most of the time I'm in China, closer to the headquarters of our company. I'm close to R&D. I see all the new products that we're going to launch to Europe, which allows me to be very confident, and I'm coming to my end users and my partners around Central and Eastern Europe and train them and consult them about the Hai Robotics solutions. But indeed, I cannot stay in China all the time. I need to be closer to the real customer demands, because every visit of the customer, every warehouse, bring new idea for our product department, for R&D, how we can adjust it to the regional customer needs.
And are they happy? I mean, your Chinese colleagues, when they get some criticism or some feedback which are not really positive?
They never hear this feedback from me, at least. I praise them. They are great.
No, I think from customer point of view, it's everyone. Everyone can appreciate it, because basically we are speaking about a totally new solution and totally new innovation that coming from China. Just for example, Hai was if I remember correctly, Hai was the inventor of ACR, autonomous case handling solution that's working in this sector. So
Correct. And in the beginning, indeed, we got a lot of criticism. To be honest, the company started with around 40 people. They started to R&D the product from scratch. And after first project, which we failed with this new technology, half of the employee left the company. The rest half still work in Hai Robotics. Yeah. So indeed, in the beginning of our journey, we got some criticism from the end users. Now I think we got more appraisals, especially after implementation.
János, what if you visit a client here in Hungary and you say that somebody will come from Hai Robotics? I think everybody would think that from a Chinese company will come a Chinese girl or boy. Yanina is not Chinese.
Yeah, it could be. For example, for other customers that are we working for, they're usually doing the same thing. But I think it's for us in Europe, it's much better and much easier to working with the also European people, I would say, for the cultural understanding, for example, much easier to understand each other. You know, between us and China, there are some cultural norms that are different, and communication style or business practices. European representative can be a bridge for these cultural gaps. Much easier and smoother the communication with Yanina.
Yanina, do you think it's a benefit for Hai Robotics that you are not Chinese and you work for European markets?
To be honest, as a person who've been living in China for 12 years, I would say it doesn't matter. Okay, yes, maybe some customers would love to see the European representative, but for me, I would say it does not matter that much. But expertise is. I think it's way more important. I mean, if they see the expert who've been working with robotic technology, who knows what they need, who understand the market.
The knowledge they need.
So the knowledge and expertise, I think, is more crucial than the nationality itself. Mm-hmm. But indeed, for the partners, and I think that's the reason why in our European HQ, 90% of my colleagues are from different countries.
Different nationalities.
Different nationalities, and mostly European ones. So they are from Spain, Italy, etc., UK.
And listen, do you speak Chinese? Maybe the question is stupid because the Chinese language is 2 languages or 3 or 4.
I do speak. Mm-hmm. I do speak Mandarin, so like simplified Chinese that is actually widely used in China, except for the southern part. So yeah, of course, yeah, I do speak Chinese, which really helps me at work because indeed our European, our EMEA region, all of them, of course, speak English and the regional European languages. But in the HQ, I think it's a must because I can join the meetings with them and I can understand what they are trying to tell because indeed there are some cultural differences. So it's great benefit.
And one thing more about the Chinese products. You know, sometimes some people in Europe and in the Western world say that, okay, if it is from China, probably the quality of the products can be questionable. What is your comment on it?
I think it's outdated cliche. Probably you can say that about Chinese cheap products 20 years ago. Currently, it's totally different. And they are not producing goods, they are inventing goods. And the quality currently is same as in Europe or close to European quality. For instance, in robotics, we are following all the very strict CE regulations. So all the products based on the machinery directives of European Union or American one.
You know, there is this saying, and sorry for the interruption, there is this saying in Hungarian that what is not made in China, that's a fake. Really, because basically everything right now is made in China.
Exactly, everything.
So,
Even for big European American brands, they all do OEM in China.
Yeah, there is an iPad on my table and it was produced in China.
Indeed.
Just one more thing to add, this is like the trust and credibility, because in case of some customer that we visit nowadays, you know, in some cases, European partners or clients may feel more comfortable to deal with the company that has European representatives. That's for sure. It's like the language skills. While English is often used language in international business, in some ways, the Chinese company, they are not using, I don't want to mention that not proper one, but sometimes it's, you know, I mean, this cultural difference in language skills, it's, you know, hard to compare with each other.
How about the clients when they meet Chinese robots? They think that the quality is okay, or they don't even question it because it should be good because they are the state-of-the-art products in that segment.
Almost everybody making his own solution in China. So I think from solution point of view, there are not more questions. I mean, they are not questioning the authority of Chinese systems. The only part that they are questioning, I think, and we need to take care of, is the customer relationship. And that's we can improve with, for example, with Yanina.
Yanina, in a year, how many clients do you visit in Europe? Around 50, 100, 1,000? You must be very active when you are here in the region.
Indeed. But I cannot say it's hundreds because we're working in intralogistics. So usually we have limited amount of customers who can afford. For one day, we can visit 2 customers. So you can imagine if I spend 25% of my time in China, we visit quite a lot.
Now we are getting to the second part of our discussion, which is about trends in robotics and intralogistics. How do you see what is going on? What are the main trends in this segment that define the present and the future here?
I think the biggest trend right now is the shortage of skilled workers and shortage of labor power in the warehouses, which lead companies to think about automation. The second trend is that 5-10 years ago, only huge corporations could afford automation. They would spend few years to automate it. They deployed the comprehensive automated storage retrieval systems. They totally changed the landscape of the warehouse. They deployed additional rails, grids, etc. Currently, the trend is for small, medium businesses automation. And that's one of the key advantage of Hai Robotics because we are flexible and it's one of our core value to let every warehouse afford the automation. It could be small, it could be few robots, but they can replace fewer employees that they really have an issue with because people tend to avoid this repetitive job in the warehouse. That I think that's definitely one of the biggest trends. And the digital transformation itself. So currently, most of the warehouses already implemented warehouse management system. So they go digital. They want to see what they have in the warehouse, what kind of inventory. And plus, another additional trend that I don't really want to mention this topic, but it's still important. Of course, due to the COVID, we can see a huge e-commerce growth in 2020, 2021, which leads customer to the situation that they cannot afford a very long lead time for orders. They need to fulfill it quickly. And to do so, they either need to employ a lot of pickers in their warehouse, which again come to that we have less pickers. So they automate their processes. No matter if it's related to sorting or picking in a warehouse, packaging, labeling, it all goes with the new technologies. And indeed, the trend is for mobile robots more than for like stable systems that cannot be flexible at all.
As I understand, you meant that the entry level of automation is getting lower, which is very important change to the past, yeah?
Indeed, it's exactly what I meant. Currently, more companies join, even the local ones. 5 years ago, only multinational corporations were talking about innovations. They got innovations director or automation director, and they were thinking about it, and it was massive investments and huge projects. Currently, it could be local companies, even in Hungary, in Czech Republic, Slovakia. I meet with the local companies that would like to try it.
Yeah, and I think it's especially true in Hungary. You know, the unemployment rate, for example, in Hungary is in some of the regions, it's like minus. So you basically cannot find anyone to work in your warehouses. So
Countrywide is about +4, which is nothing.
Yeah, in some regions. But for example, in
Countrywide, I mean.
For example, region like Debrecen or Hajdú-Bihar, region Hajdú-Bihar, and we have like -6 right now. We just got new production plants from BMW, from Settle, from Eve Power, everyone, and there was like this article from last month that I read that for example 200,000 people is missing from the workforce over there. So they have no other choices. And it's true for not just for the huge multinational companies, for the middle-sized companies as well. And basically, if they want to, keep up the processes and keep up the operation, they have nothing else to do. They need to do something and automate the system where they can save this manpower.
I underline what Yanina said, that the small and medium companies are for automation. So they are working on it, they are thinking of it, and they, in some cases, buy some robots. Yes?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely worth for them. Yeah, till now, basically, we have working with multinational companies, but nowadays we are getting much more interest from the middle-sized companies, especially in Hungary, in the region CE. Yeah, and it's kind of affordable even for them.
We are talking about trends, and I know that you were in Logimat. What was your opinion on the trends, what you realized there, walking around the exhibition? Yanina, what was your report about to your bosses when you got back to China?
My bosses are in Europe. No, I'm joking. To be honest, I haven't been in this Logimat. I arrived right after, but I've been in CMAT in China, which is one of the biggest exhibitions for logistics. In China, we have both. We have Logimat and we have CMAT as well. Mm-hmm. CMAT was massive, and usually it works like that. Firstly, companies showing something new in CMAT, and then they bring it to Europe. Usually there is a few months gap between that. What I can see, there are a lot of Chinese vendors, no matter if we are talking about CMAT or Logimat. A lot of Chinese companies are growing. They are showing very mature solutions. No one can beat Chinese sorting systems. I think it's better to not name the companies, but they are definitely great, and we cooperate with them in China and overseas. Robots, there are a lot of AMR solutions, ACR solutions,
AGVs, everything.
AGVs, yes. Cubic systems.
So basically, almost all of the huge producers are there, and in Logimat or CMAT, as Janina mentioned, and often highlights the latest advancements in warehouse automation. So it's definitely cool and worth to go there just to check these new producers, because right now, for example, some years ago, like 4 years ago, there was in case of ECR system, for example, there was only you. As I remember, just 2020 or it was 19 when I was there last time, the only ACR producer was it was Hai Robotics. And right now there are several. Not that much, but still some other companies who is making ACRs.
I need to say that we are pioneers of this technology, and we are very proud of it. We are the inventors. Yeah. Indeed, some companies do kind of similar, but it's unavailable for all the kind of technologies.
Yeah, to be honest, it's one of our audition points. Mm-hmm. If we choose a solution, we're usually looking for pioneers of the systems. Mm-hmm. Because basically, we know the market, and usually the inventors, the pioneers, the ones who originated the system, those are the best. In any cases, the others trying to copy it, but it's like devil in the details. So, yeah.
Did you see something, János, in Logimat which might change the future of the Hungarian market, or it was a normal evolution, what you realized in Logimat?
We have seen a lot of new producers. That's new, really. As I mentioned, some years ago, there was 10 to 15 EMR producers, for example, but right now it's more than 100. In case of technologies and possibilities, there was some news as well, but not that much, because basically we are using the same type of systems, just like we did in 4 years ago. As I mentioned, I was in the details, for example, from software perspective, there was a lot of changes. And in case of artificial intelligence, it's developing like hell.
Logistics, it's very similar to the computing technology, that you need good hardware and you need many solutions, and then the software is rising up. That's what you realized.
I think that will be the key right now. Right now, from hardware's perspective, we have a lot, and it's like similar solution. But software-wise, this company started to go like Hai Robotics, for example, or SVT Robotics, who is providing us a middleware system, where we can connect multiple type of vendors' products to in one system with the standard API. And that's what the customers need, to be honest. Especially if we are speaking about a multinational company who has multiple production plants. And by the way, we are the exclusive distributors of SVT Robotics as well. So we are capable to provide this kind of system. That's, I think, a great advantage, especially for the multinational companies.
We are getting to the third chapter, which will be about Hai Robotics. My first question is, how about the software part of logistics? Are you strong at that too?
Let me answer first of all that it's stages of maturity of the technology. As János mentioned, all kind of equipment goes through the same cycle. And I would say for robotics, we are still in the hardware stage. It's still not state of art, but we are going there.
These vendors are providing to us the RCS system, the robotic control system. Basically, they don't care about the warehouse operation and everything. That's our part. I think that should be an integrator part. We should be the one who should able to realize what kind of problem they have and how the operations are going.
Yanina, would you position Hai Robotics in its segment? What are the strengths and the main elements of the portfolio? How could you shortly introduce your company to a client?
It's very important to mention that we are anchored in ACR, so autonomous case handling robots that help our customers to automate the picking process. And apart from that, we can help them to utilize the storage, so increase the storage density and improve the picking efficiency dramatically, up to 3-4 times, depends on the technology. How do we position ourselves? We have 90% of market share for ACR robots. We are inventors. We have more than 1,100 projects launched globally. So you can imagine many thousands of robots running all around the world.
From Hai Robotics.
From Hai Robotics. And apart from that, we have more than 1,800 patents globally, not only in China, all around the world. And we are very proud of that. We are becoming a global company. So we are not just sending goods and working from China. Indeed, we are headquartered there and we respect our roots. But apart from that, we already have more than 20 offices all around the world, including 3 offices in Europe. Our European HQ is in Hotdorf in Netherlands. We have office in Spain and UK. So we are close to our customers. We are ready to help them with no matter if it's on the solution stage or implementation or after-sales service. Then we have more than 60 amazing partners, including Advanced Robotics, our Hungarian integrator, CE integrator. Yeah, and we work with the global integrators as well on the global scale.
So what is the main strengths of Hai Robotics? How could you describe it?
I think our main strength is that we are anchored in one technology. We are not trying to expand our portfolio. We are professional. We are niche company. We are automating the picking process in the warehouses with piece picking. We are not trying to cover everything. We are saying, okay, we are experts in this part.
Niche and focused.
Niched and focused. We have our manufacturing facilities, currently 2, and we are planning to expand it and have the production outside of China as well. We also produce the storage units. We have a self-developed software on the robot control system level, workstation, etc. So we actually can provide the very niche and professional solution for customers with the warehouses with the piece picking.
You mentioned that you have a partner here in Hungary. Yes, we are sitting in the offices of Advanced Robotics. Why did you choose our company?
I think you are very well locally presented. Everyone knows about Advanced Robotics. We like your marketing activities. We like what your team has been done previously. You have amazing key account manager for Hai Robotics.
Thank you. You mean János, yeah?
I mean János, yeah. Even the fact that our names pronounced in the same way. Yeah. I'm joking, but
it's important.
It is important, of course, because we do in business between people, not between companies. AR has a great team to work with. We can feel that they promoting Hai Robotics. If we go to the conferences, I can see from the end user that they know us. So definitely the sales team, BD team already talk to them. They know who we are and what we are doing. And of course, we already have experience. Then we make a project from scratch to the end, and we are very satisfied with Advanced Robotics. It's a great local partner.
And how do you see the Hungarian market as a potential?
To be honest, I see a huge potential on the Central Eastern European market itself. It has some regional specifications, because the customers' industry is a bit different from the projects that we are doing in Western Europe. There, mostly we automate 3PLs, the fashion apparel warehouses, etc. Here I can see that manufacturing industry has a stronger demand for automation rather than the distribution warehouses. I see the potential. We have strong pipeline here. And I think what we were discussing before about this trend of the lowering the bar of entering the innovation, it works here very well. Because in Hungary, there are several big companies operating the warehouses here, but still most of them are local, and Chinese robotic companies is the best way for them to enter the automation, because they simply cannot afford some of the European vendors with the comprehensive and big solutions that requires 10 million euro investment straight away.
János, how do you see? Why is it good for the Hungarian market that we have Hai Robotics?
It's a fruitful cooperation. It's really we have several projects already in pretty advanced stages. I cannot tell you right now. NDA is binding us. As Yanina mentioned, we have an advanced technology. We have a great customer relationship and good cooperation and behind. So basically, the chemistry is working, and the price, it's what the market needs. If I compare the prices, for example, a producer from Western Europe, it's much more pricier and it's offering the same kind of technology. For example, with the new system that Hai Robotics just invented, HiPic System 3, the density is even more than AutoStore, for example. I don't want to lose in the details in the sense. So it's working. In the market, we can offer advanced technology with affordable prices. And that's what the customers needs.
And how do you see the future of Hai Robotics in Hungary? Maybe you will have a local office in some years in Hungary.
It could be.
That would be nice.
It could be a next stage of the development, or it will be office that will operate for Central and Eastern Europe. To be honest, I see that's the future. I'm not sure if it will be Hungary or Czech Republic, but definitely it could be. But again, not because we want to interrupt the work of our partners, but to support them.
Yeah, but there is the demand. It's like in the last month, we visited like 20 customers together. Just give it a try.
To be honest, currently we are very satisfied with your work here.
Okay.
You're very capable. But if you need our support, we will open the office. But once again, we don't have a plans to open the regional representative office in a matter of meeting the end users directly. We are a company that works through the partners, through the integrators. That's why we cooperate with Advanced Robotics that closely.
So. Yanina, we started this chat with you. So what is your plan for the future in Hai Robotics? Now you are an EU account manager. That's what we can see in your automated signature. And what will be your automated signature in 5 years?
Let's dream big. CEO.
Definitely not CEO. If I say that I will be a GM of Hai Robotics EMEA, that would be sensitive to my my favorite general manager, Peter Guan. So I will not say so. To be honest, I think I will go to the vertical way rather than the regional. Mm-hmm. And maybe it will be even manufacturing, maybe automotive vertical. I have more and more experience in that. It's very demanding industry with a high standard, but I love challenges. That's why I live in China and work in Europe.
Okay, and the last question, what will be the next announcement from Hai Robotics which will change the future of the industry?
First of all, I would like to mention our new technology that we call HiPix System 3. Then we combine our ACR robots with the mini AMRs that dramatically increase the storage density and the throughput efficiency of the system. That's a great announcement. It's a great milestone in developing our company. And apart from that, I can tell you that this year forecast is very promising. We will announce more and more big names in our customer portfolio. We already signed the project and ready to sign with great companies, great partners. And I think the market gonna know about it.
Most importantly, some of them will come from Hungary.
Thank you so much, Yanina, for joining us and sharing your expertise. János, thank you for your co-hosting.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.
So thank you, dear listeners, for tuning in, and see you next time.